Merry Christmas! It's not too soon, is it? Welcome to our Christmas edition. You can see we're all fairly festive. I've got my best sparkly party dress on, and the office tree is now up as of yesterday. Sarah, our executive coach, is here. Resplendent in red. And Melinda, coming live from where are you, Melinda?
I am in the Canary Islands.
The Canary Islands.
Just go to the side a sec. Drop to the side.
It is the background that I really have.
Oh.
Okay,
wonderful.
Yeah, it's about 22 degrees out there, so sorry.
Anyway, fast forward past that. Welcome to the Christmas edition. This is the last business brunch of the year. And we're not going to stop doing what we always do. We are here to teach you something, to make you go away with something valuable. So we are here to connect, to learn, and to evolve. And today's subject is all about goals and celebrating successes. So do say hello in the comments. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you are. And if you can think of one, and you've got the next 30 or 29 minutes now to think about what it is you're particularly proud of this year. It could be about business and career. It could be about family. It could be about fun. It could be about health. Whatever it is, celebrate your successes in the comments, and we will celebrate with you. So let us introduce ourselves. We did say our names. I'm Vanessa Ashworth, and I am a marketer. I step in to make you step out. And I should think about what my goals are for next year, because I am currently in between opportunities. So what does that next opportunity look like? I'll be looking at that over the next week whilst I enjoy some time off. Sarah, who are you?
Hi, sorry, I was just on mute because the dogs were barking like crazy. I am Sarah Farmer. I'm an executive coach, and I specialise in working with senior leaders and C-suite executives, helping them develop the confidence and the competence to achieve outstanding results.
Fabulous.
Melinda.
Hi there, I am Melinda Ward, and I am the Director of Consulting Solutions and Managed Services at Helm 360. And I am here bringing us sharing insights on consulting, on business transformation, management strategies, all those sort of fun things.
Fabulous. So now you know who we are. Please do get busy in the comments and tell us who you are. And please, if you can think of it, please say, share with us your successes.
Yes, we've got two people who have chimed in so far. Hartaj from India. Hello. And also, hello, Hartaj. And we have Amit from Pakistan in the south of the country.
Fabulous.
So great to have you with us. I think you're both perhaps new joiners as far as joining in the comments anyway. So please share with us if you've had any big wins over the past year, and we'll be happy to bring those to the foreground as and when. And also, don't be surprised if you're making comments, but you're not seeing other people's comments, because we go live on about 13 different channels. And you only see the comments for the channel on which you are viewing. So that's completely normal. Don't feel alone. We see them all. It's kind of like Santa Claus. We see you when you're sleeping. We know when you're awake. You know,
that's a bit spooky and freaky. I don't think we.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But anyway, we see your comments. We don't actually see you when you're sleeping.
That's a whole different show.
That's a whole different show, and probably not on this platform. Danny has said afternoon all. He's got his brew in hand and is ready to celebrate everybody's successes.
He's told us what that means before, doesn't it?
Remind us again, Danny.
Tell us what that is, Danny. I've forgotten. It's obviously about success.
It's a Hebrew name for something, but I can't remember what.
And Richard is with us today as well, and is saying, Amit, so sorry about the cricket. Talking of big wins.
Ooh, right.
Rub some salt into that wound.
It was apparently a weekend of wins, wasn't it? There was some football. Apparently, there was some dancing. I've missed.
Football, yeah.
Completely missed all of it.
But all the winners, they weren't the right winners. But let's not start on that. That's all I'm saying. Flurries. For those who watch Strictly, God. Anyway,
come on. Before we get to that, then before we kind of get into this, how do we plan for success and how do we measure it and reward ourselves? Let's think amongst us. Sarah, what do you think? What are you celebrating most from this year? What success do you
Finishing?
Finishing, getting to the end. Almost. We're almost
getting to the end. I finished today at 5 o'clock. No, what am I most proud of? The biggest thing, you may have heard me talk about this. I don't know. I might have mentioned it once or twice. I've written a blinking book. I not only have I written a blinking book, it is currently being typeset. The title is done. I know who it's for. I know what the colours are on the front. Honestly, all the things you never thought you'd think about, I've had to do. And I have to say, it's been the biggest challenge in my life. I have had so many moments of imposter syndrome biting at me going, what are you doing, you fool? And having to deal with all of that. I am so proud of myself for actually doing it. I'm never going to do it again, ever. But I'll have done it once. And that is it. And I'm going to be dead proud of it when it's done. So, yeah, I mean, lots of other stuff's been happening, but that has got to be the biggest.
Well done. Well done. Fantastic. Yeah. What about you, Melinda? What's been your biggest success?
I would say this year, just starting off the position at Helm 360 and starting out as a director of one department, and then within about 6 weeks getting 2 more departments, and being able to kind of keep everybody moving forward and achieving their individual targets. And yeah, just kind of being able to make a good go of it, I think.
And that is
obviously, there's still more work to do, but I'm pleased with where I've gotten so far in my first, I guess, 9 months.
It's not easy to do. I mean, considering the amount of work I do on onboarding with senior leaders, to keep your job and get through the first 3 months is hard enough. But to be promoted within 6 weeks is a huge achievement. So yeah, well done you. And what about you, Vanessa?
I didn't know. So I kind of started looking back under all these different headings, health and relationships and all the rest of it. And I think there have been loads of kind of little successes at Rivington and all the rest of it. We've done great things there. But I think...
Little?
I know, I know. I know. Loads of great successes at Rivington. I think the one I'm going to celebrate, I think, and it's just because it's more about the learning, is I completed my year without alcohol, which is something that I never thought I'd be able to do. And what I'm taking from that, where I've failed on other ones, like losing 5 kilos and stuff, is it was the process. It was every day. I just did, whereas with... And it's putting the process in behind the goals. And because I'm trying to think about what vision I want for the future. I'm sorry, I'm getting into the subject a bit here, but this might help you then kind of help us. When you set goals or you create this vision board of whatever it is, unless you actually actively work to achieve it, it's just a vision, isn't it? Yeah. And so when I'm thinking about what this vision of 2023 or the end of 2023 looks like, I'm going to plot not just the goal, but the processes. And then every day or every week, I'm then checking off, did I do that? Am I following the process to take me there? And I think the alcohol one worked because it was every day.
Yeah. You had it under control, didn't you?
Yeah. So
there's a few people that have just come in. Should we just say a few words?
Well, first off, we have a reminder from Danny about Fergan and how it's the Hebrew word for meaning the sincere joy for another person's accomplishment. What a great word.
I love it.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I get to Fergan on a daily basis. That sounds like something else. But I do. I Fergan a lot.
Well, Danny's Fergan was directed towards your upcoming book release.
Thank you, Danny.
And then we have Andy back with us again. Welcome back, Andy. We've missed you.
Yeah. Andy, where you've been.
Andy is also helping you celebrate, helping Vanessa celebrate her year without alcohol. Outstanding.
Thank
and
you.
It's something where I think a lot of people now it's recognizing the power of that kind of an approach. And there's so many more alternate drinks available and things like that. So you don't have to feel like you're just having orange juice in the corner. There's plenty of non-alcoholic festive drinks, which aren't bad. I mean, some of them are really nice. I will have them just if I'm not in the mood to drink, or if I've got a bit early day the next day or something, and they're really good. So
there's no martini. I'm just going to end that with martini. The non-alcohol martinis are fabulous. But come on,
let's move on to the topic. Otherwise, we could go down a whole different route of what to drink over Christmas. Although that would be a really good Christmas show too.
Yeah.
So Sarah, go on. Why don't you set us off? So the question number 1 is how do we plan for success?
Okay, consistently, I think is the key. We plan consistently. When we are asked to look back at what we've done well and what we're proud of, most people go, God, don't know, can't remember. And they really have to struggle to think back. And that's because they thought, and we had this conversation before we came on air, Vanessa was like, well, I know I had a plan, but did I write it down? If you don't have a vision of what success looks like, you don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, it's really hard to look back. We wouldn't dare, well, most organizations wouldn't dare go ahead to a year without it. And yet look at us as human beings. Why don't we treat ourselves the same way? You don't have to, but I can tell you when you do, and this isn't just for consultants, when you know what it is you're looking for, everything else starts to be clearer and you can see opportunities coming towards you and go for them. So plan for success regularly, plan now. Do not plan for success just because it's the 1st of January. Don't start me on, should we have New Year's Eve resolutions? No. I mean, yes, you can have them, lovely, fun, but let me be Scrooge about this for a minute. If you're planning success based on starting something because of a day of a year, you haven't got the right intent. And to plan for success, you need to know what you need to do, why you are doing it and why it matters, and what success looks like. So yeah, anything to add to that? How to plan? I think you've got a nice book, haven't you there, Vanessa?
Yeah. So I've just ordered a new one. So it's my Crazy Fox planner, and it is beautiful. And so I've just ordered a new one. So I'm going to start afresh from January. I know it shouldn't be the time to start, but I just,
now just start. You've already ordered the book. That's a start.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to plan for success. So, okay, we've got our vision. And you're absolutely right. Organizations, they have their vision, they have their mission, they have their plan and the strategies and of how to get there. And they've got their processes. So it absolutely makes sense that we do the same with our lives. So how and when should we review progress?
So it doesn't really matter if you're a consultant like I am, I'm going to say a loan shark. That's not what I'm at all. But let me try and get my brain in gear. I'm finishing today. Have I told you? Whether you're a consultant, whether you're a coach, whether you're a one-man band or a 20 million man band, it doesn't matter. The point is we need to regularly review what we've done to see how we're doing so that we can keep going, doing the right thing or do it better. I would say at a minimum, we should be looking back on a bi-weekly basis, once a month at a real minimum. But most people don't give themselves feedback or time to look back until the end of the year, and then it's almost too late. A lot of clients I've worked with who are doing this really well are looking back at the end of every day of what did I do well today? Very quick, because then it's not onerous.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It becomes like maybe a couple of minutes. What did I do well today? What didn't I love about today? What am I going to do differently tomorrow?
You see this on every week. It's got habits and skills where you can kind of say, drink 2 litres of water, walk the dog, do 30 minutes of it. And you can take it off. But so I've been thinking, what will that look like for next year once I create this vision? But you're absolutely right. It's review it every 2 weeks, every week, every day, whatever the process is. Are you following process? Is it working? If it's not working, what are you going to do?
Well, this is then we kind of end up into the self-coaching bit, which we'll come to at the end. But the point is, do it regularly, whatever that means for you. And if you're not doing it at all at the moment, maybe start doing it once a month. If you tell someone who's never done this before to start doing it every day, it could be too much. The point is why are we doing it? Why are we looking back to review progress? And the point we do it is because your brain needs reward. And this is like the third point, isn't it? And what we were going to cover today is if our brain doesn't get any reward for the changes that we're making, the hard work that we're putting in, the effort, the challenges, the opportunities, you name it, it just feels like a drain on the brain. I'm opposed.
And the brain is also really wired towards the negative.
It's wired towards negative, yeah. It looks for threat.
Yeah, so many people, when you say, oh, what did you do this year? They think, oh, well, that didn't go well, and oh, I kind of made a mess of that, and oh, you know, ooh, I don't even want to think about that again. But they're not thinking, well, actually, okay, yeah, like anytime and any person, there's going to be negatives, but there's also some positives in there. So I think even if it's not necessarily that a tangible, what exact step that I do today to achieve my goal, you can still say what went well today, what served me well today, and get yourself set up for that weekly check-in to say, how did these things achieve my, or work towards my goal?
It's really important. And what you say about that, we do look for threat. We're hardwired to look for the problem. And what people find is, and I've been through this a few times this year myself, is that when something goes wrong, if you haven't captured enough of what's gone well, your resilience has dropped. And you don't know that until the shit hits the fan. And then you realize your resilient bucket is empty. Whereas if you are constantly filling up your self-belief, your resilience, your confidence throughout the year, when there is a withdrawal, however big it is, you can handle it faster, better, and with more clarity, because you're not looking at an empty bucket going, well, I've done nothing, I'm worthless, they must be right, I'm a terrible person. Actually, no, this may not have gone so well, but look at all this good stuff. So if you want to cope next year better than other people, I would be looking at this weekly, really. I would be at least weekly. I'd be looking back to see what had I done well, what am I proud of, what could I do differently, what went wrong. This is into self-coaching, actually, the last bit. And what help do I need to avoid that or do it better next time?
And this is super important for people who are not only looking to succeed in what they're doing now, but people who are looking to do something new, people who are job hunting, or looking to make big change. It's a really stressful time. And there's a lot of kind of internal self-doubt that can come in. Okay, I did 3 interviews. I didn't get this job, even though I thought I would. Oh, I must really be awful. No, maybe you just didn't meet the needs of that organization. But, what did you do well in those interviews? What can you reinforce to do well in the next interviews? What can you improve on? But have a balanced conversation with yourself. Not just, I'm awful, I'm never going to get a job. Because you know what? You start thinking like that, it's going to be true.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was talking to one of my clients who I've worked with all this year, and the difference in her at the beginning of the year going into interviews, where there was a lot of angst, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of upset if we didn't get the job, to now going in and asking great questions really confidently, even though she wants a job, not going for just anything, but asking those tough questions so that when she starts her next job, there is less risk. Because the problem with what you're talking about is the more we become sort of, we feel lesser and lesser and lesser, the more no's we're getting. Some people do, not everybody. They appreciate it's just a numbers game for many people. But you take that forward. You don't ask the questions you need to ask. You hide from the facts you know are really there. And then you go into a lion's den where it feels like you failed when it was never really your fault. You were just in the wrong place. So being resilient, building your confidence, understanding yourself, self-coaching, rewarding yourself. I mean, how many people actually have a reward system that means if I do X this week, I'm going to, I don't know, go shopping, have a facial, buy a spanner. I don't know what men do. Anyway,
I'm gonna put that at the end of each. Buy a spanner. Buy. I had to borrow it. I put a cat flap in this week all by myself. I'm gonna have to borrow something. Anyway, let's go to the comments.
Sorry, can I just say that was a really sexist comment from me, and I do apologise. I have to admit I'm just really tired today, and I am just unfiltered. So apologies. Of course, women can buy spanners too, and anyone in between can buy spanners. Right, let's move on before I say anything else wrong.
All right. Well, looping back, so we've got some further accolades for the word Fergan from Andy, saying we should use that term much more and celebrate other people's success. Absolutely.
Well, I know Danny would be really happy with that if everyone would. We could start Fergan in.
Absolutely. And Amit is he's looking for a job. He's got a bit of a story here about he's now working on building his LinkedIn networking bio. So hopefully you can take away some of these tips and, kind of come up with a positive action plan. And even though it's not an easy thing to do, to try to remain positive, but it can really help if you've got these tools in place that Sarah's presenting.
And even things like building my network on LinkedIn, who, when, why, how many, by when, how are you going to do it? That's your plan. And it's amazing when you have one little bit of your plan, it starts to build to the next little bit.
And who's the ideal buyer of your services?
Nick's picture. Sorry, I've just seen Nick's picture.
Oh, that's very good.
Very good.
I haven't updated mine yet. I was going to put a hat on. Nice one, Nick.
Yeah, Nick's saying, ale.
Ale, Nick.
Ale. Yeah, that's a bit of a for those of you who are not in the UK, that's a reference to a greeting in Northern England.
Okay, Andy, as I was saying that, I knew I'd confused myself. Bi-weekly. I actually meant probably. Can I just scrap all of this and just go? I would do it once a week. Let's just cut the crap. Let's just go once a week. If you've not done it before, start, see what happens. If you can go to once a day at the end of each day, you might love that. If you're not doing it that often, you're going to forget. By the end of 2 weeks, once you hit a certain age, trying to remember what you did the day before is really hard. So I'm going for every day just because I'm over 50.
Every day.
Right? Maybe the younger ones can go once a week.
Danny is, this is a big one. Neurologically, the level of reward in the brain is the same, regardless of the level of accomplishment. So we should celebrate every success, no matter how small we think it is. Now, let me just click off of him and see if there was more.
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay. And then there was, Nick was concurring, saying the brain looks for threat because of our primordial brain is still hardwired for that. Same reason we still binge on junk food because our brain hasn't adapted to the abundance of food in modern environment. So yeah, we still have that inner, instinct.
So that's what happened to the Ferrero Rocher last night. It wasn't my fault at all.
It wasn't your fault at all. It's your brain. But I just say I'm not convinced on the why we binge on junk food, because some of us don't binge on junk food because they've got control of their urges.
Oh, well done. You can control yourself with a box of Ferrero Rochers in the
Just
room.
about, yes. I can make a box of Ferrero Rochers last a whole month. Check me out. Yeah.
Wow. So Richard saying congratulations to Vanessa on your accomplishments this year, and Andy,
let's buy Spanners, everybody. Let's celebrate those successes.
Who knows? I mean, Christmas presents are weird this year, aren't they? We don't want to spend much because everyone's financially strapped. So why not we all buy Spanners? That's a good idea.
It was a jigsaw that I had to borrow to cut this kind of dog flap in the door. I need one of those, obviously.
You're way ahead of the curve, you are, with your jigsaw.
Yeah. All right. So, and finally, we have Andy is saying, great session. He's off to Denny's to buy a couple Spanners.
There we go. All good. So we've talked about how to plan for success. We've looked at when and how to review progress. We've talked about rewards, buying Spanners. No, wait, we know it now.
And they don't have to be purchased rewards, right? Yeah. Keep in mind, it could be, I'm going to take a moment for myself to do X, go for a walk, do this, do that.
For a nap. Oh, I'll tell you what would be a nana nap in the afternoon. That's a really nice reward. Nice little blanket over you, dreaming about Spanners. I mean, what more could a girl ask for? Oh, there we go. There's your nana naps all off. Andy's on one now. Oh, all right, guys, stop.
Andy's saying all the power tools in his house are managed by his wife, who is qualified as a plumber.
Uh-huh.
And embracing Fergan and buying my tools.
This is all good. This is all good. So, how do we self-coach ourselves for improved results, Sarah? We've got the last 5 minutes to tell us.
Okay, and what I mean, I have kind of gone through this already, but I'm going to try and be sensible for the last 5 minutes. Sorry.
Let's do a quick summary, top tip summary.
But also, if people are, what are they? Andy, what are you proud of? Danny, what are you proud of? Nick, what are you proud of? Whoever else is here, I can't see the whole list, but what are you proud of yourself? Ladies, gents,
Richard,
So the thing is, start planning. Have one is the first day. Have a plan. I talked to the ladies earlier about something called the hedgehog concept, which is something that I use to help my clients and myself know what success looks like and what I'm looking for, which is think about what do you love, what are you great at, what are you best at, and what's going to drive you financially. It comes from Good to Great by Jim Collins, but we can use it for us personally. And let me just show you this. It's going to be easier rather than waffling. But there we go, like I had one earlier. And the bit in the middle is your sweet spot. When you've achieved all of these things, you know that this is success. This is what you're looking for. This helps you create your vision of the future. And when you've got that, plan it. How am I going to get there? Don't focus heavily on the big, know what the big, hairy, scary goal is, but then put that to one side and work it all the way back. Milestones, chunk it down, little goals. How does that look each week? What behaviors, what values will be driving that? Just like we would do with a team in an organization. Do it for yourself. And then when you opportunities will start to present to you, not by magic, but because you can see them. You've cleared the decks. It's the same when you're looking for jobs. So many people are scattergunning. I'll go for that. It's almost right. Oh, then I got it. Now I hate it. Now I have to leave. Now I'm a failure. Stop that. Do the hedgehog concept. Think about what you want. When and how to review once a week, ideally. If you want to do it every day, brilliant. If you're not reviewing once a month, the chance of you remembering what you've done well is slim. The reason we do it is because our brain needs to know what we've done well and know it was worth the hard effort and work and the stuff we've done to it. And we deserve rewards. We're so bad at looking after ourselves and making ourselves feel good. And when something goes wrong, if you haven't got a bucket full of goodness that you've stored all your successes into, all you've got is deficit. And it's hard to recover when something goes wrong then. So, and things will go wrong next year. It's going to be hard.
Things go wrong every year. You cannot avoid it.
No. And next year, financially, we've already got the fear of financial worries and then things going wrong. So, build up now. In fact, get your bucket full before the end of the year. And it doesn't have to be monetary, as Melinda said. It could be a nana nap or borrowing Danny's spanner. Stop. I was going to be sensible. No. And then how to self-coach is, what have I done well? So people are doing this at the end of every day. What have I done well today? What am I proud of? What could I have done better? Not what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Okay, if there's something I could have done better, how will I try that next time? I have a plan. And then you're prepared for the next day. And that, if you're doing that, you are going to stay well above ahead of the game next year when things are going to be rocky for some people, not for everyone. I do this, my clients do this, successful people do this. That might tell you something about why this is important, because it does work.
Excellent. No, brilliant. So loads of good points. They've made loads of notes. Okay, the successes are coming in. So for the last 2 minutes, put all your successes in the comments. Melinda, go on, read something out. Let's see what we're celebrating.
I'm just scrolling back up, which is a good thing. Here we go. Let's start from here. Nick is saying that he doesn't dream about DIY, and does that make him weird? No, it doesn't.
It makes me weird that I was, to be fair.
Nick says this year he is most proud of owning who he is. There's no bigger achievement than this. Absolutely. If you're always serving everybody else and not yourself. The day that you can figure out who you are and you become unapologetically you is, it's empowering, because you stop worrying about all the crap that went on beforehand. Good for you, Nick.
Doesn't matter.
And it's an ongoing process, I think, at least.
Oh, yeah, it can be challenged, but,
not like
once, you can go there again.
All right. Andy is saying, difficult year at mine, but we're still together, still healthy, still happy, and that'll do. And I'm sure there are some successes in there as well.
That's all success. I mean, so many
Those
people.
are loads of successes, but I mean, even some small sort of daily wins, in there to identify and reflect positively on. Andy is saying next year professional growth with River Simple, and his wife will get her promotion to DC, which is a higher rank in the police officer structures within the UK. And planning on meeting more of his LinkedIn network. Seriously, meet the people that you have met virtually in real life, if possible. It is worth it. Mm-hmm. So that's my tip.
Congratulations to your wife as well, Andy. That's brilliant. Send her lots of love from us. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And Danny is saying successes officially started with his own consultancy. Woohoo. Serendipity secured both a fixed mortgage and a fixed energy pricing in the 2 weeks before everything went a bit kablooey. And open up us. Apparently.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to go from success to sex. Success to success. Oh my goodness.
That's got nothing to do with spanners. I don't. This is rapidly deteriorating. I mean,
okay, guys, we're out of time, but we definitely want to celebrate Andy's statement that it's great advice to reflect. You'll always improve things that you monitor, and that's improving successes as well. So that's the key, isn't it? The more you recognize, the more you can have.
And can I just finish on, when you've had a success, please don't brush it off. Notice it's a success and say well done to yourself, because not everyone else will do. No, well, hardly anyone will do that for you. Learn to congratulate yourself. And anybody watching this or just seeing the comments coming up live will be thinking, what the hell are they talking about this time? I can only apologize, but it's been fun, hasn't it, this year?
Absolutely. And we will be back. We will be back on
January.
9th of January, because we've got 2 national holidays, like the makeup day for Christmas and the makeup day for New Year's. So we will be off on those days, as hopefully most of you will be as well. And we will be rejoining in January on the 9th for more value, more successes, maybe a few more spanners. And we really look forward to seeing you in the new year.
We've got a great guest. We've got a great guest as well on starting back with this, and we'll be sharing more about that. I haven't even told Vanessa yet.
Yeah. So keep watching your LinkedIn space, and you will see us popping up that more information as we go and promoting our first show of 2023.
Until then,
holiday, whichever holiday you choose to celebrate, and a fabulous new year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, everybody that's joined us. Mwah, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2023. Thanks, ladies.
Cheers, bye.